Hey guys, this is Odd1 Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Today's video is going to be a really fun one because I've found a really interesting team in order to tackle the frozen plains on higher stages. I'm talking about stage 9, and I'm doing a little bit of a non-conventional one, and that's basically going to be using damage over time to beat frozen plains on stage 9. And honestly, it's a pretty free-to-play friendly team, right? It uses 3 rares and surges in here, which you don't necessarily need to have a surge of Florentinia, because you can use somebody like a Colon or anybody else that brings you the healing prohibition. So the reason why I'm actually using him is because you don't really need gear on him, you don't really need levels on him, and everybody can get him for free from the arena, right? Just buy one of the memory stones and you get him for free, and don't need honestly any investments. Just you would need a little bit, I guess, of attack speed, or you just need to make him survive the first initial hit so he lands his buff. Pretty much, let me show you what I mean. So when we look at his relics, we look this one, Wrathful Defender. He inflicts Wrathful Defender, which it pretty much puts evasion rate decrease 2 for the rest of the battle. Also cannot heal, right? This one stays there for the rest of the battle. You don't even need effect accuracy in order to land this one, so he lands this once and then he can die. The reason why this is all you want to do is if you use him, if he does the other hits like first skill or third skill, with his passive, the first one, he just removes that, so pretty much you lose it. So the only role he's gonna bring in the team is to put that cannot be healed, and that's it, right? And then everything else goes with the damage over time. Now, the way that I actually realized this, and the way that the reason why I got this idea of trying it is because when we do the clan raids, right, when you get to like stage to level 20, 21, 22, you know, higher levels, it's so hard to do damage, right? I just noticed that I honestly was doing more damage from Anguish's damage over time, or even Lancelot's damage over time, than I was doing with my Bedivere team, right? With my Bedivere that's high built and whatever. So I said, you know what, let me just try this for Aldri. And the funny thing is, I actually tried this with Bedivere and my Morgan team, and I could not do it as well as I'm doing it with this one, right? So let me just run this team so you can see exactly how this one goes. So pretty much the core team over here is Anguish, Isolde, and then we have Sarah in the team that kind of are built just to do damage over time and then to survive, right? You see the first hit, he survived. He does, for example, Florentius, he does that second skill, and that's it, right? After that, he can get killed. I do not mind. And you're gonna see the damage ticks from the damage over time are actually doing pretty decent, right? And the best one for this type of a team is gonna be Anguish, because whenever he lands dots, he also lands this one as from the passive dot taken increase, which allows us to actually do enough damage to be able to take the boss down. Now, you can also use somebody like Lancelot. He does the same, but the problem is, as the base, Lancelot comes with the Flame Relic, so if you're not lucky to get this, at least the Frost one, if not the Storm Relic, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do this. But again, at the same time, why would you invest in Lancelot, right? If you can get a rare like Anguish, that's gonna be amazing for you to use in Gorgos as well, right? My team is pretty much this one and then Degenerate for Gorgos. Why would I invest in somebody like a Lancelot? There's no point. So this team works just fine. Now, the way that this one works is you do need some specific, you know, gear, some specific stuff like that, at least for higher stages, right? For lower stages, it can work with some base gear, but for higher stages, you need to have specific builds, specific keepsakes, because you want to land enough of these damages over time, and you want to keep extending them with, for example, with Isolde's A3, so you can keep taking the boss down and kill him as fast as possible, obviously, because as soon as you see that Isolde, when she does the third skill, if you have a Chivalry 3, she extends the duration of all dots by 1 turn, and that makes it amazing. Now, the key thing is, obviously, you want to try and kill it as fast as possible so he doesn't get to that rage one, because if he gets to start stacking that rage, it's going to be difficult, he's going to kill us, so, you know, might be tricky. Now, this might have some bad RNG, like, for example, if every single one of the hits from the boss or the left foot, they keep going on the same target, there is a chance that you might be dying, right? If you get that bad RNG, whatever it's a single hit, like see this one happen, if I would have gotten a few more hits on my Anguish, I would have died and obviously this would have failed. However, This one's doing just fine because when the boss is hibernating, I get the chance to heal back up, I get the chance to do more dots, I pretty much get the chance to, you know, get my team back up, so I do enough damage, I survive enough to slowly be taking the boss down. And you see he never heals because of this cannot heal that Florentius just landed, right? The Wrathful Defender. He landed that at the beginning, then he died, and that's it. You don't really care about him, right? It's pretty fun. I guess this one's pretty much a 3-man team, right? I can call it a 3-man team for Aldri 9 using dot, using the damage over time, and it works just fine. Now, the builds that I'm gonna show you, they're not crazy. Like, trust me, it's 4 and 5-star gear. There's no 6-star gear. There's no insane perfect stats. It's just the right combination of gear sets and keepsakes, the right speeds, so you have people going the right rotations, and voila, I did stage 9. I'm quite sure after I boost my stats, after I get some better stats, I'm gonna be able to do even higher stage. But for now, you see 3 minutes, 14 seconds, pretty much a 3-man team. And that's Aldri 9 on far. Now, I really wanted to make this video today because obviously we still have that happy holiday event, and one of the best things you can do is to farm Aldri, right? I made a video already covering this, but for this one, you get points by either doing story stages, by doing Plane of Beasts, or Frozen Plane. Frozen Plane is the best one because that's where you're gonna always need to farm. Now, let me quickly show you the presets. I guess I'm just gonna have to use one quick refill. It's pretty straightforward, the skill order, right? It's nothing too complicated, nothing too crazy. It's just I think it's only one that I have something doing specifically. Everybody else is YOLO, right? Actually two, because Florentius does that Rifle Defender that stops the boss from healing. So what you have to do is Florentius prioritize his second skill. Now, in order to make sure that he has the Vigor, I just gave him 4 random pieces of Vigor set. You're gonna see, I'm gonna show you. And then Anguish, you wanna prioritize, do the third skill, and then the first one. You can try and come with Anguish in here with the Storm one, but the Frost Relic is better for him because he lands more dots than the other one. So you can see Sarah and Isolde, they just full YOLO, do whatever skills they want. Now, let's go and have a quick look at the builds and tell you exactly what you need. So the most important one, the main event of this fight, is Anguish. I just love Anguish. He's the one that I invested fully from the beginning. I got him to max chivalry with all the copies of the rare memory stones that we got, and I fully invested into him. He is 6-star awakened, level 60. He has the passes fully skilled up. You kind of want that, but at least if you cannot get both, you prefer to have this one skilled up because you want to land that dot taken increase, right? Because if you land this, your boss is going to take more damage from all the dots that you're going to land. Without it, it might still work, it just might take longer. When we're talking about the relic, like I said, he's running his Frost one. Doesn't really matter about the skill ups. You don't care that, like, yeah, he can do a bit more damage from the skills that I got. You only care about this, right? Landing those chills. Obviously, if you can have this maxed to have a 75% chance to land those chills, that's going to be even better. But for now, I don't really care. It's just he lands these enough and we're good to go. Equipment, this is what it's important. The equipment that I'm running on him is, first of all, elemental, right? I want him to be able to land as many damage over times as he can. And elemental is going to be a good set to give you that chance, 35% chance to inflict an element based dot on a single target for 1 turn, right? Every time he does that, because he does it on the first and third skill, he can land this. Then I also have a corrosion keepsake, right? This one again has a chance to inflict inflict random dot on the target for 2 turns. Again, as much damage over time as you can. This one's on a 2-turn cooldown. And then the complementing set that I'm gonna be looking to get on him is gonna be a counter set to, again, when he gets hit, he has a chance to counterattack and pretty much land more chills. Now, I don't have this right now because I didn't get it, but these are his total stats. You can see 172 speed, 57% effect accuracy. You want around 70% normally or more, but because he has that passive that boosts his effect accuracy every time he hits, he doesn't need this. He's gonna have the effect accuracy up all the time, and even with effect accuracy decrease that the boss lands, he still lands all of his dots. So this is pretty much Anguish. Again, he's a Chivalry 10. You don't really need Chivalry 10. You prefer to have him Chivalry 8 because this one brings another dot in the bleed. Right, this is what is gonna help. Now, the second one that I'm using in this team is Isolde. Isolde, you want to have for this team Chivalry 3 because this one over here can help you a ton. Whenever using skill 3, has a 100% chance to increase duration of all dot inflicted on enemies by 1 turn. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, but it works just fine. Now, when we're looking at her, you don't really care about her being skilled up because she just removes more dots and they don't happen in Aldri, so this one's not mandatory. Then when we're looking at equipment, she's running a vigor set, a counter set, plus again she has a corrosion because you know what, she does dots as well. Every time she lands dots, she does this again, right? Every time she lands a dot, she can land another one, which makes it just be perfect. Now the stats are not perfect. You're gonna see just HP with nothing that helps us over here. Then the second one is just attack speed. This one's actually pretty good. And then effect accuracy on a 4-star. Total stats for her, 168 speed. You notice Isolde has to go, or you prefer Isolde to go after Anguish, because the first time she does the third skill, she extends all the dots, and you want Anguish to go first so he lands as many as possible, and then when she hits, she can extend them. So keep that in mind, that's really important. Relics, she's running the Frost one, 6-star, level 55. You don't really care about the, you don't really care about her skill ups in the Relic. It's whatever happens. However, do keep this in mind. Like, you might think, oh yeah, let me try and bring the Storm Relic. It doesn't really, I don't think this one works because this one just heals, right? And let me double check, I might be wrong. But the third skill says, using skill 3 has a chance of increasing the ratio of all dots. So this one could still work. It says that using it, so you don't really have to hit them. So maybe it will work with the Storm one. However, I prefer the Frost one because everybody gets it, right? It's her base relic. And this one also lands some more dots on the third skill and on the first one. Let me see, does she land on the Storm one? I guess even the Storm one could work. So, if I ever get it, I'm going to try with that as well. But again, pretty straightforward. You saw her build, you saw what you need. And then the last one, Sarah, again, she is using her base relic as well. She has fully skilled up passives. For this specific fight, you care about the first one to have fully skilled up because this one's going to remove those debuffs, right? The effect resistance decrease, the effect accuracy decrease. And you also prefer to have a Chivalry one so that she reduces the cooldown of that passive that cleanses by 2 turns, which means every other turn she's gonna cleanse, right? Now, when we look at her relic level 50, 4-star awakened, it's not 6-star yet, right? I can still 6-star this. Then if we're looking at the equipment, she's running a vigor and again another counter set because on her first skill, every time she counterattacks, she heals, so that can be helpful. Total stats for Sarah, a little bit slower. I'm pretty much focused on HP, as much HP as I can get, and that was my main goal. But yeah, this one, I guess one more. Florentius, like I mentioned, he just has 4 pieces of vigor set. Doesn't really matter what you have, just 4 pieces of vigor set. Make sure he can survive so he can do his second skill 1 time, and then that's it. After that he can die. You don't really care about having him in the fight. But yeah, what do you think about this team? Let me know in the comments down below. I was really excited when I built this team and I saw that it worked, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys because this might actually work on lower levels. It might give you ideas if you cannot quite do enough damage with your normal teams. Maybe Dot is going to be your answer. Maybe you invested more like me in Anguish and people like that, and that might help you pass certain stages and just keep advancing in the Frozen Plains. But yeah, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, click the link in the description or pinned comment of this video to support me as a content creator if you want. Costs you nothing, helps me a ton, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye, guys.
Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked, and you may prove worthy of your legacy.